Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel here, Doom Productions, home of the No Budget Film School, and another Filmmaker Hangout today. A part of our retrospective series, what have you, on the movies we've made.
Yeah.
And today is a special one. So today we're talking about Man With The Moustache. You can find a link to that in the description, or I'm sure there'll be cards.
I think it'll be like right here, I think. If I'm pointing at the right spot.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be here.
Somewhere. And so it's only fitting that we're in a different space, I guess.
Is it fitting?
No, we just happen to... We're exporting something right now. We thought this would be a good time to do this video right now.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Man With The Moustache. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's very short. Mm-hmm. What's it, like a minute?
Like 2 minutes,
2 minutes?
at most, yeah.
This was the first, I think, skit we made. Mm-hmm. This was the first improv thing we made.
And the first phone thing.
The first thing we ever shot on a phone, on an iPhone. And how this came together, you might remember this differently than I did, but I remember, I think it was a Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
I remember getting the call, like, let's go shoot something. Mm-hmm. Like, you and Tim were hanging out.
I think so.
And you were like, hey, we have these toy guns, we have these cowboy hats, want to shoot something really quick? And I came over, and we just came up with that on the spot, as it kind of... Yeah. Like, there was no planning.
No.
Like, it was like, okay, I'll walk into the door, I'll argue about the mustache, and then we'll have a shootout. Yeah, I think that was as much planning as we did.
We were just trying to get to the shootout part as quick as possible, I feel like. That was what we wanted to shoot.
Yeah.
So the build-up was really quick. And I don't remember it taking long at all to shoot.
Yeah, but am I remembering that build-up? Was there any more planning about how it came about?
I don't remember a whole lot. I just remember that I had bought these toy gun props. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we should just shoot something. I don't even remember what I bought them for, because I know they were for a different project.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just happened. It was very spontaneous though. Like, there was no planning.
And it also kind of sparked this huge kind of, I don't want to say trilogy necessarily, but like this huge thing for us, which is our Mustache Trilogy, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess trilogy is the best word.
Yeah.
For these Westerns. So this is the first in a trilogy of short films we did about
Cowboys with mustaches.
Cowboys with mustaches, where essentially the currency of this old West world is a mustache. Very cartoony, very goofy. This is compare this one to those other ones. It's very, very different because there is no planning, and in the other ones there was lots of planning. But if we just look at this first one on its own, I guess let's ask what are some pros, what are some cons?
Pros are fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a stressful kind of movie to shoot. Like, it's meant to... this is the best way to describe it in today's language. It's very much a Joel Haver kind of skit. Like, where you're making up on the spot. You're just having a good time making it. The quality doesn't matter. You're not stressed about any part of it.
You could even see something like this on TikTok, I think. Something like this. Because it is just us. This is either a pro or con, I think, depending on who you ask or the context. Like, it's so clearly just us with cowboy hats and toy guns and, like, in not the Old West at all. That is very obvious. So whether you're just looking for a goofy skit, that might not matter. But if you're looking at this as like a film, it probably is going to be not a great thing. And I think so. It kind of depends, but it does feel like something you'd see on online these days, like little skits kind of thing. Other pros or cons? What else?
So short.
It's a short movie too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so weird. The only reason I think we included it in this playlist
is because of the other movies that come after it.
Is because of the other movies. Because really, it feels... it's like the seed of a greater thing.
Yeah.
But it's still important to look at that seed, I think, to an extent.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's something that's subjective in the sense of the pros and cons list, because like you were saying, like the quality could be a con.
So much better.
Oh yeah, like we were just talking about, like if we
Yeah.
remade this, like if we did, it would be infinitely better.
Yeah.
But also, I love this.
Yeah.
Like the goofiness, the quality, like it's a time capsule movie for us, I feel like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think it's also I think it's also a good way to measure like our skill set for movie, because I mean it's a lot rougher than, because if you watch Rendezvous Midnight, the zombie movie, than this, it's like, oh, they're getting worse.
yeah.
But this is like, I think from here, I think we kind of lucked into Rendezvous Midnight looking as good as it does.
Yeah.
I think the zombie movie is a little more telling of like, oh, these are the actual skills.
They're very inexperienced.
And this is like totally raw talent, just in this one, the mustache, because it's like, here's what they can do with no planning, no time at all. Kind of like, like if you were to, that was a bad analogy, I won't go there. Yeah, so if you look at this mustache movie and go like through this to the third one, it's like, oh, you can see their progression. I think that's our actual progression in skills and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's also shot on a phone too, which is, I don't think we didn't do a whole lot.
This kind of sparked a phase of that, because we had a couple that aren't public right now, but there are a couple other shorts we made. Like there was the Murphy McMurphy Cop series.
Yeah.
That was only one episode long, but The Boys Go Exploring.
Yeah.
It was kind of our Sunday afternoon movie shoots we started doing for a little bit, where we weren't planning. We would just go out, we'd make up an idea, we would improvise everything.
Yeah.
And it would just happen. And whatever came out of it was what happened.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great place to be for a while as a beginner filmmaker, is like, don't stress about getting all your actors, don't stress about planning it out and storyboarding and scripting, but just being able to get out and like I think that's like the fastest way to progress.
Yeah.
Is to make stuff and not care about, like, once it's done, it's like, okay, cool. If that sucked, move on. If it's great, that's great. And I mean, if it's really good, or if you can see some quality in it that you like, steal from yourself. Like we've
done that.
Half the stuff from this era of whatever we want to call this, what phase of Doom Productions that was, we still borrow stuff from those. And especially like this, starting off the Moustache Trilogy, we reused this entire scene shot for shot in Righteous Hombres.
Which, and that was intentional. We were like, this will be a good way to show our skills, but it's also a nice way to reference where it all started.
Exactly.
And I think like you said, like when you're at this stage, don't worry about perfection. I mean, I think this is a whole nother video in itself.
Yeah.
I've said many times, I don't think story is not king to me when it comes to filmmaking. I think the film is king. I think the filmmaking is like superior to the story. That's not to say story isn't important, but I think when you're starting out, you should learn how to tell a story. You should learn how to tell a joke, and like how to set up jokes and how to convey all that stuff, because I mean, it's one of those things where like there's some core foundations that you should learn as a filmmaker that you just need to learn. After you learn them, throw them away, break the rules, do whatever, but you should at least be aware of them to an extent, I think. So I think this stage is really helpful for learning those things. So learning how to tell a story. What will a shot mean if you put it next to another shot? Like close up plus reaction shot equals what? A coolest shot effect or whatever. Or this sound or this movement is funny. Or like, here's how you tell a joke and that kind of thing. Or here's how you just shoot a little scene as you go. So I think this stage is really important, and it's important not to get caught up on the quality too much.
Yeah.
When you're making stuff like this, pretty much. I'm trying to think of what else.
I know. I'm trying to think of like where.
I mean, obviously, we're using copyrighted music.
Yeah.
There is no sound design here. There's no. I mean, there's just there's a filter. There's like an old film filter thrown on there.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, when it comes to goofy, I mean, how about this? What are some tips if it's just you and your friends hanging out and you have a camera what advice can we give them
Okay.
to go about making like an improvised, just on the spot movie?
I mean, being okay with it sucking, I think is the first thing I would say.
Yeah.
Because it probably will.
We have
That's not a bad thing.
And this is like the only good one we have from this era. That's still up. Like Ethan said, we have like there's a couple more that are on our channel. They're just private that just aren't that great, and so we don't have them public. But this one is actually pretty decent.
Yeah, and again, like, yeah, it ties into a bigger thing, so it'd be weird to not have it. But
I think use what you have.
Use what you have.
So don't go out and be like, oh, we need to go grab a sword, or we know just use whatever you have on you at the time.
Yeah. Use a stick.
Use a stick. Use a guitar. Use a book. Anything that jumps out to you, just use it, and don't like worry about like we have to get this or that. Mm-hmm. If you have to go out and get like a big model car or airplane or something, you're doing it wrong.
No,
that's not how you do an improv thing.
You should not spend money.
No spending money. Just what do you have on you right then and there?
Yeah. Use the jokes that you have, like with your friends. Like if there's an inside joke or something, I think that's a fun thing.
Yeah.
Like I think that benefits you more. Like the movie will benefit you because like, again, it's like that time capsule thing. Mm-hmm. Like I can look back on this and reminisce about the times that we would hang out like on Sunday afternoons or whenever and just like goof around.
Yeah.
And this kind of encapsulates that for me. So I think that's something like as a filmmaker that like doesn't get talked about a lot is like do it for your own personal nostalgia. Do it very selfishly almost in a sense. Because you'll like even if it's not great, like this isn't great, but I adore it and I wouldn't change a thing about it.
I think it's something anyone can enjoy too. Like you get it. It's the bare bones of what a story should be.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and something else is like this kind of style really leans into like the internet video thing. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that's kind of fun to play around with because again, like the quality doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. The humor is what matters. It's a good testing ground for things like telling jokes, like you were saying, and how to set that kind of stuff up. Like it feels like Vine.
Yeah.
This feels like Vine. Mm-hmm. Where like
a long Vine.
You could have like a really long Vine. Yeah. But like, you know, people used to have like books on their heads and stuff to be different characters. Like something goofy like that. That's what this I feel like lives in. Yeah. Is that same world.
Yeah, because people don't nowadays people don't need if you're just telling jokes or you just want to get a thing across really quick, you don't need elaborate costumes or setting or props. You can just literally have a piece of paper on your chest that says donut seller.
Yeah.
And then people, he's a donut seller.
They get it.
They'll get it.
You learn efficiency with your jokes and or with your setups. Because I don't need a 10-minute scene talking about you're a cowboy and you're coming to get a mustache. You just get it. You walk up, you spit, you have a cowboy hat on. Oh, he's a cowboy. It's Old West. It has the film. You get it like immediately.
Yeah.
And and the first line is like, I believe you stole my mustache.
Yeah.
Like you know something's you know where this is going. You're like, oh, these guys are gonna fight over this mustache.
Yeah.
One of these guys is gonna die.
I think. So another two things.
Yeah.
So first, probably not the best idea to do drama if you're starting out, because, listen, well, okay, I don't want to say don't do a drama, improv short. Don't do it like when you're just starting. I mean when you're just starting out, but when you're just starting out, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and that's cool. Everybody makes mistakes. There's a lot of mistakes in the Mustache movie just now.
One could argue the whole thing is a mistake.
Yeah. But if you make a mistake and you make a comedy, that'll add another level of humor to it. Mm-hmm. If you make a mistake in a drama, it can become a little cringy, which is what kind of Rendezvous Midnight and what Heartbeat to an extent, those kind of fall in line with the kind of more cringy, like not funny, like funny but not supposed to be funny kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend if you're just doing improv kind of stuff, when you're just starting out, do comedy and just try to make people laugh.
Mm-hmm. But with all that, like the best, like kind of, I mean, to sum it all back up, like the best part about these is they're fun. You don't have to take them seriously.
Yeah.
They're not dramas because like shooting a drama with your friends isn't always the most fun thing to do. Like if you have friends who are just volunteering their time to goof around, like you don't want to shoot some depressing movie.
Yeah.
Generally. I don't know. Maybe your friends do. That's totally fine. but yeah, this is just like a fun movie, so check it out. And it's just like you said, it's a great indicator of like to track our progress in filmmaking. I mean, arguably I think the mustache stuff is some of our best work.
Yeah.
Or at least our most fun work. Like, I think you can tell between that and like the fiddle stuff, that we had a lot of fun with those. So check out Man with the Moustache if you haven't already. Watch For a Few Mustaches More and Rendezvous Midnight. You can either watch those now, or you can wait until when we cover them in
Rendezvous Midnight.
Or not Rendezvous Midnight. Did I say Rendezvous Midnight?
Yeah.
Man with the Mustache, Few Mustaches More, and Righteous Hombres.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Righteous Hombres, not Rendezvous. I mean, you can check out
Well,
Rendezvous
actually,
Midnight,
that
too.
one's not actually the next one.
No, I'm just saying you can watch.
Oh,
the
just in
Mustache
general,
Trilogy.
yes.
I'm just saying in general, but
Mustache Trilogy, yeah.
but yeah, check out our greatest hits playlist. There's a lot of fun, good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for more videos from us. Subscribe if you're new. If you're not familiar with our work, we make feature films.
Yeah.
This is just kind of how we fill our time in between. We're currently working on a project right now called Video Carnage, but
And it is killing us.
It is okay. It's so close. That's the hardest part. That's what's killing us. Is it's so close to being done, but so far it feels like.
Yeah.
But while you're
October's
waiting-
out.
I was gonna say while you're waiting, we have three. We have three good feature films.
Yeah,
And then one that we'll be covering later that's 6 years old. But watch our feature films October, House, and Oh Brother. Those are all great movies if you just want to get a little bit more Doom Productions in your life.
Yeah.
So check those out. And yeah, that should hold you over until the next episode. So check those out and we'll see you guys later.